Hello everyone. I've spent the day putting up shade cloth or shade knitting, however you want to call it. You can see what I have on my bed, my bed closest to the garden. And this bed's probably about 50 feet long. You can see this fabric. It's like a dense woven netting, polypropylene. I think so. But you know, it's meant to last a long time outside. And then on the bottom, I have some sandbags full of 3 bricks each, which, by the way, I had to use more than 1 brick per post on my garden, otherwise the wind was blowing the fabric away. But yeah, 3 bricks per bag seems to hold everything down. And I have it kind of folded over about 6 inches at the top. And you can see these connectors right here that anchored the fabric together. It has like about 10 pins on it. They came with a set of about 40 of them, and I just took them, and you can see they were attached like so, and you would bend them across. Say you had like some 1/4-inch steel hoops, you could loop that around and anchor it onto a steel hoop like that. But of course, you know, I'm using 1/2-inch galvanized steel pipe, 72 inches, pounded down to about chest high, about 4 feet tall. And realize that the taller you make it, the more it's going to catch the wind and have the chance of getting damaged or whatnot. So I hope by doing this, where I've just put 1 anchor here, about 4 inches down from the top of the post, and the post too, if I take this off, you can see I have caps on them, so it's not going to tear up the fabric. You might even want to put some tape, like Gorilla Tape or duct tape, over it too, to get it a bit smoother so the netting slides right across, doesn't catch it and tear it up. And yeah, really only anchored at the top, down every post on one side. As long as you anchor it on the opposite side at the end of your run of fabric, it's going to hold it taut. See that side? It's on there nice and tight. So yeah, just 1 up here and then 1 down at the bottom. Just make sure you leave enough fabric over there to overlap and anchor it. And I can actually see where the wind has knocked off a couple sandbags already. If it gets high enough winds, it's a far better situation that it just picks up the entire curtain of fabric and blows underneath of it. And yeah, if it just knocks the sandbags off, that's fine too. Plenty of storms come by, and you just have to go out the next morning and put everything back together. And I've already watered this bed twice today. Not really super saturated, but enough probably to get the top 1 inch or 2 of soil moist. And it's a bit windy out. I don't have a whole lot of grass growing up on the side of it yet, nor do you see a whole lot of vegetation growing up in it. And for what I've seen from the Morel King at morelcultivation.com, his projects, usually there's a good bit of vegetation coming up with the morels, which makes sense because it likes that humidity with it. So yeah, so nothing yet. Still have a few people I know picked some good ones today. I haven't had a chance really to go looking much anywhere else. Now this bed back here I use these green posts that I had left over. They're the 7-foot tall posts that I use for the deer fencing around the garden. And same spiel, although I didn't pound them in as deep. You can see there's actually some gap at the bottom, but I'll let the grass grow up and kind of fill that in. You can see as long as the wind doesn't blow, it stays put pretty good and shades the sun. Actually, the sun's pretty cloudy right now, so you can't really see how effective this is. But, oh yeah, you see it really, even with it this close and that high, the angle of the sun is only going to get it, you know, about 3/4 of the bed, but that's still a lot better. I'm wearing in my area just because there's so much high wind that if I won't have to actually enclose the entire area off with the shade cloth, you know, a big, kind of like a big corral of it, and then make it so I can get in one side of it to water everything, or make it only maybe you know, 3 feet tall, so I can just, you know, look over it and water over it. And I'm not going to put any shade netting at the one on the top of the hill. I figure I let that one go wild, let nature take its course. It's got plenty of bushes right next to it, so hopefully that'll cut the light off of it and the wind off of it. I really think the cloth is more important for the wind, well, at least as important for the wind as the sun hitting the beds. But you know, you want to be doing this in as much of a non-windy and non-sunny location as you can. That's why maybe next year I'm going to experiment doing some in these woods. They're not really deep woods, but a lot of large honeysuckle, locust trees, you know, all small trees and stuff. But it's pretty shaded in there, and it stays a lot more moist and less wind blows through. So I'm hoping this week I get some results. I'm going to keep watering these beds 3 times a day if I have to, but hopefully it'll rain some more. I know it's going to warm up, so yeah, I'm going to have to get on it, or maybe even put a sprinkler out here to sprinkle it, which I've seen done as well. So yeah, cross your fingers and wish me luck.